unnaturally curious, we're going to talk about the reproductive tactics of fish. And one of them is actually going to be a fish that is no bigger than, okay, it's gone, no bigger than the size of a USB. And it actually lives in our own backyards in Ottawa. And this guy reproduces just like clownfish, which are affectionately from Finding Nemo. So before we get to the star of our story, fish, as I'm sure you guys know, they are a very diverse species. You have marine fish, like our clownfish that live in coral reefs. But then you have this diversity of fish that live in our freshwater Great Lakes St. Lawrence Basin, where we all like to live and angle and do fun stuff. Now, regardless of whether you're a marine fish or you live in freshwater, you reproduce 3 different ways pretty much. You're oviparous, you lay eggs. A few select species, which are ovoviparous, some crazy science words, they actually will hatch inside of a fish. Some reptiles do it too, and then are born alive. And then you have your live bearers, your viviparous species. Now, many of you probably have these live bearers in your aquariums at home, like mollies and platies, tetras and swordtails. They all live birth too. But we're going to focus on the egg layers today, because that's what we have back here. So, essentially, before a fish has to lay eggs, they've got some crazy challenges ahead of them. If they don't have a territory set up, they have to get to where they want to go, or migrate. Now, some fish, they actually have to pick, really special habitats to lay their eggs. And others, they have immense physical, how do you want to say it? Physical changes they have to go through for the male fish in order to attract the ladies, but also to just make a nest and protect it away from predators. Now, the star of our story today, it's not a migratory fish, not like lake sturgeon and walleye. These guys, they're crazy. They have to swim far up river systems, and then when they get to nice, clean gravel, they just spread their eggs and sperm all over the place without a care in the world. No, the star isn't even like northern pike. Now, this guy, he's really cool. In the early spring, when there's still a thin layer of ice in wetlands, these guys pair up. They swim up right into the flooded areas, and they actually attach really adhesive, sticky eggs onto vegetation before they hatch. No, it's not about him. It's not even about largemouth bass. Another fish that, at least this guy makes a nest. He cares a little bit. So this guy, they in fact make a nest, and they protect it for a few weeks until the babies hatch. Now, our story is about a cute little minnow called a blunt-nosed minnow. And this guy, he has a territory, and if you can't tell, he's got some physical changes going on. He's got these crazy wart-like bumps all over his forehead. Now, these are called nubital tubercles. Everybody say it with me. Nubital tubercles. Yeah, you'll forget it tomorrow. It's okay. So what they do with these is they find a really nice, piece of wood or a nice piece of cobble or boulder, and they use these as well as their tail, and they clean off a nice little section, kind of like clownfish, but they don't use warts. They just, kind of rasp at coral. But how these two species are pretty much identical is once the nest is made, the female will come along. Oh, I like you. Oh, the nest looks good. Okay. And she actually uses her ovipositor, which kind of looks like the edge of an eyedropper. And she individually deposits her eggs. These guys will fertilize them. Now, the clownfish, they're close to an anemone that stings fish, so they don't have to protect them. But this guy expends all of his energy over 2 weeks, and he hangs out and he saves those fish. Now, clearly, we've got some really interesting fish in our backyard systems. And I'm hoping from our talk today, you remember next time you're out angling and you have a little bait fish, which could very well be this guy, or you're out hiking and you look down in a pond full of little tiny fish, or if you're fortunate enough to scuba dive and you check out all those small fish. Remember how important it is to remember the little guys, because they're just as important as the big ones and just as interesting. Thank you.